All right, so welcome to the free workshop, the number one way to start working from home. In this workshop, I'm going to teach you how to start a profitable and stable virtual assistant business from home with your babies. You can do it in your PJs if you want and just work it completely around your schedule instead of having a job that you have to work your life around. So you are in the right place, and this workshop is for you if it's on your heart to leave your 9 to 5. You really want to be home with your babies, but you're not really sure how to do that. This is also for you if you're just looking for a way to make money from home so you can work from home and just live the life you want to live. And it's also for you if you need a flexible schedule, something that will allow you to take your kids to doctor's appointments or take a day off whenever you want to, or only work a couple hours a day, maybe only during nap time, or maybe after the kids go to bed, or maybe even before they wake up. This is for you if you need that flexibility. So during this workshop, I'm going to be teaching you the 5 Ps that you need to know in order to become a successful virtual assistant and start working from home with your kiddos by your side. So welcome. If you don't already know me, my name is Ariana. I quit teaching when I had my daughter, and I replaced my full-time teaching income as a virtual assistant in just 6 months. So in this workshop, I'm going to be teaching you how to do the same thing. A few fun facts about me is on the virtual assistant side of my business, I'm actually a website and branding designer. That's the services that I chose to niche down into and specialize in. And I'll talk more about that in a minute when we go through all the different services. Again, if you're tuning in a little bit late, my voice is weird. I started losing it yesterday. I've been doing all I could to keep it today. So pardon my scratchiness. I am a Michigander at heart, but I also currently live in Ohio with my daughter, my son, my husband, 3 cats, and our German Shepherd. So life's a little bit crazy, but that's how we like it. So I was actually a teacher for 3 years. I taught first grade for 1 year and kindergarten for 2. And I grew up thinking, I want to be a teacher. That's just what I knew I was going to do. That's what I went to college for. But even on top of that, I knew that more than anything, I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be present for my kiddos, watch them grow up, witness all of their firsts, and all the things like that. Well, when I actually started teaching, I was like, okay, how am I going to be able to be the present mom I want to be and be a teacher? Because I was coming home exhausted, burnt out, just like wanting to chillax with my husband on the couch, but had so many laminate things to cut and lesson plans to do. And anytime I wanted a day off, I had to do sub plans and stress about like, was the sub going to have any issues? And I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this with kids. Like, it just felt too overwhelming. And like, I couldn't be the mom I wanted to be once I had kids. So, my last year teaching, I became pregnant, and I just really dreamed of trying to find a way to stay home with my daughter. I had tried like direct sales, multi-level marketing before. I tried that for like 3 years when I was in college. Never really made that much money with it. So I knew that wasn't going to work for me. And so I was just really trying to figure out what I could do. And my husband and I had the discussion that I was actually going to take the first year of my daughter's life off of teaching. And the plan was for me to go back to teaching once that first year of her life was done. But God had different plans for me because the day that I went into labor, I found out about the world of virtual assistants. So I just started soaking in everything I could, learning everything I could about this world of becoming a virtual assistant. And within a month, I had landed my first client. Within 2 months, I was making $1,500 in monthly income. And then within 6 months, I had fully placed my teaching income. Now I consistently replace and even exceed my teaching income, working only a few hours a week with my daughter and my son by my side. And it's just everything I could have ever dreamed of. And I know that it's possible for you too. Excuse me. So becoming a virtual assistant was so much more simple than I expected. It seemed really overwhelming at first. Like I know it feels like that for a lot of you, but once you have a strategy in place, it's just taking steps forward and putting those plans into action. So you can absolutely do this too. So I want to walk you through the 5 Ps that you need to have in place in order to become a profitable virtual assistant. All right, the first P of becoming a virtual assistant is your positioning. So before we do anything else, we have to determine what type of virtual assistant we want to position ourselves as. So I've got all the services that a virtual assistant can offer broken down into like overarching categories. But just because a service is in a category doesn't mean that if you choose to like be an admin VA, for example, you don't have to choose every service. You don't have to offer every service in that category. You can pick and choose what sounds fun to you. Oh my goodness. So an administrative virtual assistant, that's the types of services that you think of like a secretary would do. An admin VA will do the same kinds of things. So calendar organization, billing and invoicing, researching, creating forms and spreadsheets, purchasing office supplies, scheduling appointments, bookkeeping, HR stuff, scheduling travel, purchasing gifts for your clients. That would all fall into the admin VA role. This is a really popular role for new virtual assistants to start with because it's really easy to figure out how to do these services even if you have no experience. The next category is social media management. This is another really popular one that a lot of people start with because we're all pretty familiar with social media, so it's not hard to learn how to run social media for a business. So as a social media manager, you get to pick what platforms you want to specialize in. So a social media manager can do things like manage Facebook groups, Facebook business pages, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, creating and finding the graphics, writing the posts, scheduling content, responding to comments and messages, doing hashtag research. That would all fall into a social media manager's role. So if you wanted to just specialize in like TikTok management, that would be a great platform to specialize in to help businesses grow their TikTok accounts. You could even just specialize in Instagram if you wanted. You could also do like a combo. So if you wanted to specialize in Instagram and Facebook, those go well together. Or you could specialize in like TikTok and Instagram, those go well together. It's totally up to you. The next category is copywriting. And this is not like, very infringement. No, copywriting is any written content in a business is copywriting. So whenever you see an email from a business or the written content on their website, um, anything like that, that is copywriting. So as a copywriter, you can do things like proofreading, editing, writing blog posts, social media captions, email content, website content. You can even ghostwrite books for your clients where they voice this terrible, where they would just give you their content for their book, like the outline, and then you would put it all together and write a book for them. The next category is graphic design. So as a graphic designer, you could create things like social media graphics, logos, cover photos, flyers, website banners, postcards, workbooks, presentations. You can do photo editing, create newsletters. That would all fall under the category of graphic design. The next category is Pinterest management. So you can literally get paid to play on Pinterest. Try saying that 5 times fast. So with Pinterest management, you just help businesses share their info on Pinterest. You create the graphics for them, create the pins, write the captions, find and join group Pinterest boards, schedule the pins, and all of that. A lot of businesses, if they have like a podcast or they have a blog or they sell products, they should be sharing those as pins on Pinterest. And so many businesses are not doing that and they're losing out on a ton of traffic they could be getting to their products and services. So you can help them with that. The next category is marketing. So a marketing virtual assistant can help with things like email marketing, sales funnels, social media ads, webinar creation, which a webinar is just like what y'all are watching right now. It's like a presentation. They can help with press releases, anything that helps a business like get their name out there more. That would be the role of a marketing virtual assistant. A technical virtual assistant can help with things like website design, app development, video editing, coding, podcast management. I want to pause right here for a second. A lot of people think like website design, for example, is super hard to learn and you have to know how to like code from scratch and all of that. That is no longer the case. Most website platforms now are like drag and drop, where you just drag in an element, you click a couple buttons to customize it, you upload your photo, you copy and paste in your text, and you change the colors out, and it's gorgeous. So this is how I learned how to build websites. I literally just watched YouTube tutorials and figured it out. So you can absolutely do that too. You don't need to know how to code from scratch. Also podcast management, a lot of people think that would be hard to learn. Not at all. There is a free program that most people record their podcasts on called Audacity, Audicity. You could literally download it. Like I said, it's free. You could record yourself talking for like 5 minutes and then just practice editing out the ums, where you stutter, whatever. And you already know how to basically do the main component of podcast management. So that's another great category or service to offer as well. Right. Product and course creation virtual assistants can help with things like building and managing courses, PowerPoint presentations, creating landing pages, all that kind of stuff. So I know that you might be thinking, I don't know how to do any of these services, Ariana. I really don't feel qualified in any of these areas. Help. And I just want you to release that worry and just let it go. Because before I started working as a virtual assistant, I had not done 90% of the services that I now offer for my clients. Like I said, I was a kindergarten teacher. I taught 5 and 6-year-olds how to stand in line, how to use a glue stick, how to be kind to each other. I didn't know how to help a business grow, but I was able to figure it out. And just a heads up, I can teach you how to do the service that you choose. So don't worry, I got your back. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. So really quick, I want you to take a moment to share in the comments, whether you're watching this live or you're watching the replay. Go ahead and comment with the answers to these questions. What service or services do you feel confident offering right off the bat, like right now? And what service would you love to learn how to do? Because I don't want you to just go with something you're comfortable with if it doesn't light you up. Because if you're interested in this, you're probably wanting to leave your 9 to 5. You might be feeling really burnt out and not want to do that anymore. So I don't want you to pick a service that doesn't sound fun to you, that's not going to light you up, because then you're going to find yourself feeling the same way, feeling burnout, not happy. I don't want you to do that. So even if you don't know how to offer the service yet, you can absolutely learn. So I want you to share with me what service you think you would absolutely love to do. And the great thing about being a virtual assistant is if you pick a service you think you'll love and then you do it and you're like, oh, I'm not really feeling this, I want to pivot, you can pivot at any point in time. Like I started out thinking I wanted to be a social media manager. And then I quickly realized like that was not, like I was okay at it, but I didn't love it. And so I very quickly transitioned into website design. You can do the same thing. So make sure you answer those questions. And as long as you answer the questions throughout this workshop, you'll be getting entries into our free giveaway, which I'll be talking about at the end of this workshop. So make sure you comment to get entries. I'm gonna give you all a second, just hold on while you're typing out your answers. That way I can let y'all just have a second. And voice is good so far, so I know it's like a little scratchy, so hopefully it's not terrible to listen to, but all right, so the second P of becoming a virtual assistant is your packaging. So we have to list out our services in a way that allows our clients to understand exactly what they're getting. I typically recommend to create 3 different package options. So you want to start with like a basic package, and then each one above that will include additional items. So if you think of like your typical bronze, silver, and gold packages, the bronze package would be like the smallest. The silver package would have a little bit more services and therefore be a little bit more like money. And then the gold package would be the most services, and then you would charge the most for that one. So you want to list out in each package exactly what you offer. So for example, if I'm a social media manager, my smallest package, that bronze package, might be like 3 days of Instagram posts a week. So like 3 graphics a week, 15 minutes of commenting and messaging any people who've like interacted with the posts on those 3 posting days. So like only 45 minutes a week total. And then maybe like a 30-minute meeting with your clients every month to like strategize and figure out what the content you're creating for them should be like surrounding. So like what offers do they have coming out? What sales do they have going on? Things like that. So you can make sure that the posts you're creating are centered around those things they have coming. And then like hashtag, like maybe 30 hashtags a month that you'll research and find the best ones for them. And then, so that would be your basic package. And then your like silver package would be a little bit more. So if the first package was like 3 posts a week, maybe the silver package would be like 4 posts a week and like maybe 20 minutes of engagement with the commenters and whatnot on those 4 posting days. And then your gold package would be like 5 days of content per week. And then like maybe 25 minutes of interacting with those potential clients for your customers. And then maybe like a 60-minute meeting with them to strategize each month. So like I said, it would just build on, each package would build on itself. And one hot tip here is to put the gold package first, that biggest package first, because then they'll see like, oh yeah, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then they'll see the next package and it'll be a little bit less and they'll be like, wait, but I wanted that over there. So they're more likely to go with that bigger package if that's the first thing that they see. All right, the third P of becoming a virtual assistant is pricing. So we want to have a clear breakdown of pricing for our packages. I want you to imagine for a moment that you're working with your dream clients, people who respect you, who adore you, who really value you. I don't know if y'all know this, but virtual assistants can make anywhere from $30 an hour to $100 an hour and even more than that. So it is not hard to get to that higher price point, and you get to determine what prices you charge. But spoiler alert, you do not want to work with every single person just because they're offering you money. Like if they're not a good fit, it's going to end up just being a drag on you. It's going to take so much time for you to actually do what you need to do for them. Where if you just let them go and you worked with clients who you actually want to work with, your dream clients, you could probably do the work for 2 of those clients in the same amount of time that you were trying to struggle and do the work for that client that you're just not lit up to serve. So you really want to think about who you would love to work with and who would make you want to jump out of bed every single day to serve them and help them further the mission of their business. So there are 2 different types of pricing options that you can choose from. With hourly pricing, typically new virtual assistants will charge hourly and then they keep track of their hours that they worked with a time tracking tool like Toggl, Toggl, no E. And then with that, like you just hit the timer and then you start working and then you hit stop and then you can like type out what you did during that time. And you can also send like a report to your clients to show them like what you used that time they paid you for, what it was used for. However, as you get better at the services that you're offering, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice because when you charge hourly and then you become faster at your job, you're doing more work for the same amount of money. So as soon as possible, it's a really good idea to transition into package pricing. So as you get more experience, you want to move into the package model for your services where you're essentially charging an additional fee for being skilled in that service. So this also has an added bonus that you no longer have to track your time, which can get a little bit tedious. So in order to create your package pricing, you still start with an estimate of how long the service is going to take you, just like you would have for hourly, but then you add an additional amount on top of that for being skilled in that service or being quicker in that service. So I know that seems kind of overwhelming. Like, where do I even start? $30 minimum an hour. And then you can always build on, like, raise your prices. Anytime you, get a client for a service and you've been off like, doing that service for them for like a month or two, the next client you get, you should charge like $5 more an hour. And then with package pricing, you do the same thing, but you just add like an additional fee on top of your hourly rate for that, like for being skilled in that service. There's one other thing I wanted to say about this. Oh, wait, it's gonna be an estimate at first when you create your packages. Like you're not gonna be 100% sure how long something's gonna take you, but you can always adjust it for the next client and so on. All right, the fourth P of becoming a virtual assistant is your portfolio. So we need to showcase our packages and our pricing in a clean, eye-catching design that will help us look more professional and stand out among the crowd. So my favorite tool for this is Canva, Canva. It's a free graphic design program online. They do have a paid version, but the free program is great. It's all you really need, and it will allow you to create a beautiful portfolio. So the components of your portfolio on page 1, you want to have like a brief paragraph about how you can serve your potential clients, how you can help them in their business to save time or reach more people or whatever. You want to have a brief bio about you so they can learn a little bit more about you and connect with you on like that personal level. And you want to have listed where they can connect with you. So like your email, your social media handles, never put your phone number. I never ever recommend sharing your phone number with a potential client or even an actual client, because you want to be able to turn work off like at certain hours of the evening or on weekends. You want to be able to shut off notifications. So I always recommend getting an app like Voxer, Voxer, and you can just communicate with your clients on that. It's like a free text messaging app, but then you can turn off notifications at certain times of the day when you're not going to be working so you can focus on your kiddos. Also on page 1, you want to have a list of your skills, just bullet pointed it out. And then a professional photo. You don't need to go pay to get headshots done or anything. Just have your spouse or a friend or somebody take a picture of you in front of like a white wall, something simple with a nice shirt on, a little bit of makeup, your hair done nice, and just post that. Like it doesn't have to be anything fancy. All right, on page 2 of your portfolio, you're going to list out your package options, including your title, line item list of the services you're offering, and then your pricing. You can also consider adding a box at the bottom of that page, letting them know that custom packages are available. That way, if like they see a package they want, but then like they want 1 or 2 other things as well, they know that they can talk to you and you can create a custom package that includes those things for them. All right, portfolio page number 3, you're going to have your testimonials and your sample work. I say this is optional, but really it's not, because even as a new virtual assistant, you can have these things. You can get testimonials from people who have not actually been your virtual assistant clients, but you've worked with in some capacity. As long as they can speak to like how you are as a worker, you could get a testimonial from them. So you could ask a coworker, a former boss, whoever, to just give you like a brief paragraph about like your work ethic, work. You can also do something similar with sample work. Like if you're a social media manager, for example, you could just imagine a social media client that you might have, like maybe, for example, a wedding-based business. You could go and create some social media graphics for like a wedding-based business and then feature those in your portfolio. Nobody has to know that you just made up that client in your head. You're still showcasing that you have the skills to do what you say you can do. So all people want to see is that you could actually do what they're trying to hire you for. All right, page number 4 is where you're going to list out your next steps of like how they can start working with you. So like shoot you an email or a message. Then you guys will schedule a quick meeting to see like if you're a good fit together. You'll send them the contract and invoice. You'll just list that out on page 4. Right, the fifth P of becoming a virtual assistant is to put yourself out there. So once you have your portfolio, you're ready to go out and land those clients. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds good and everything, Ariana, but where am I actually going to find clients who will pay me? So, number one, my favorite place to find virtual assistant clients, the place where I found 90% of my virtual assistant clients, where so many of my students have found their virtual assistant clients, is business Facebook groups or entrepreneur Facebook groups. So, these groups, there's literally so many of them, and businesses are coming in there every single day posting, looking for help with a certain service. So then all you have to do to apply most of the time is comment on their post. It's literally as simple as that. So this is a great place to start. Some of my favorites are Boss Moms, Women Helping Women, Entrepreneurs, and Freelancing Females. So you can look those up and just see what kind of jobs are being posted. Don't get overwhelmed if you see like some weird um software names. There's a lot of different softwares that do a lot of the same thing. So just like Google that software name, watch their how-to tutorials, and then you'll pretty much know how to offer that to like work with that program for a client. Another great place to find clients is on Instagram. You can network with different businesses on there. So if you know you want to work with, stick with the example of wedding-based businesses, you can go into like wedding hashtags, click on the hashtag, and then look for businesses who are using that hashtag. Start networking with them, liking their posts, commenting, giving value, responding to their stories. This is not like icky, like cold DMing people. I don't want you doing that, but it's just building relationships with people with the hope that they'll like see your name continually popping up, and then they'll go over to your profile and be like, oh, I need help with that. Go ahead and hire her because she's already like tagged in to what I offer. The next place that's really good to find virtual assistant clients is LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn tends to be more like bigger businesses. And sometimes they do have a little bit more structure in like the hours they want you to work and that type of thing. So if you like more of that structure, then LinkedIn's a really good place to go for that. But if you want like more of the flexibility and you want to work with like a business that's like a small business, so like owned by one person or owned by just a couple of people, business Facebook groups and Instagram are probably the way to go. Now, don't worry, because inside my program, I give you my system to find new clients with no stress, no weird sales tactics. Like I said, we're not cold DMing people, and no pressure. So getting clients is going to be way faster and way easier than you think. I want you to imagine for a moment, and the blanks here, I want you to drop the answers, like fill in the blank in the comments. Even if you're watching the replay, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Remember, when you do so, it gets you entries into our free work or into our giveaway. So imagine for a moment, you've quit your 9 to 5 and you're now working blank hours a week as a virtual assistant. How many hours are you working a week? Is it 15, 20? What is it? You are so fulfilled because you're helping your client with or do. What are you helping them do? What service are you doing for them? You can't believe you landed this dream client because what is it going to allow you to do? What's it going to change about your life? While y'all are typing that out, I'm just going to double check and make sure you can still hear me okay. Exactly what they're getting. Let's skip it on my end. We're good. So real quick, I just want to walk you through the top 3 mistakes that new virtual assistants make. Number one, they don't understand how to pitch themselves effectively. I see a lot of virtual assistants going to those job posts that are up in the business Facebook groups, and then they just comment on it and say, hey, I'm interested, message me. Well, that doesn't really tell your potential client what you can do for them. And it's making them do the work to reach out to you when you should be doing the work to reach out to them. So I always recommend doing a little bit of homework on your potential clients. Like if you see a job post that looks fun to you, click on that person's profile that posted it. Look at their like little bio section that's like under their profile picture. See if they have their Facebook business page listed. See if they have their Instagram account or their website listed there. If they have their website, you just hit the gold mine. You can go to their website, read their about page, learn more about their business. You can do the same thing on their Facebook business page or their Instagram. Just learn a little bit about their business and what they offer. And then when you apply, when you like comment to apply on that post, you can briefly mention something you learned from that little bit of digging you just did. And that shows your potential clients that you already care and you took the time to learn a little bit more about what they're doing. These business owners, their business is their baby. So they just want to know that whoever they're going to hire is going to treat their business as well as they would. So if you take time to put in a little bit more effort than everybody else, you're going to stand out among the crowd. The second big mistake that I see a lot of new virtual assistants make is that they don't get paid up front and they don't have a contract in place to protect them. I always recommend getting paid 100% upfront. If it's a really big service like website design, for example, you can get a 50% deposit upfront and then the remaining 50% halfway through the project, but never at the end because I don't want you to be having to chase anybody down and have somebody ghost you when you already did the services for them. So we always get paid upfront and then you don't have to worry about chasing anybody down. We also want to have that contract in place to protect you, just in case you ever need it. I've never needed it, but you just want to have it to have your back, basically. All right, the third big mistake that I see a lot of new virtual assistants make is that they're trying to do this all alone. And then when they hit a roadblock of something they don't know how to do, they don't have the answer for, they just quit and think, oh, this must not be for me. I don't want you to feel like you're alone. I want you to have the accountability, the support, everything you need to get your questions answered and to hit the ground running as a virtual assistant so you can be home with those babies and create the life that you have always dreamed of. Now, you do not have to make any of those mistakes. You can thank me later. What if I could hand you 10 steps to go from burnt out working mama to virtual assistant with clients who value you, respect you, and pay you well? How would that feel? This 10-step framework is for you if you wish you could stay home with your babies instead of spending 3/4 of your day stuck at your job. It's for you if you wish you could take a day off without having to ask for permission. It's for you if you wish you could afford to take that dream vacation to the beach with your husband or to Disney with your family. It's for you if you wish someone would just appreciate you for all that you do in your job. And it is for you if you wish your income potential was limitless. I want you to imagine for a moment, take a moment, close your eyes. Don't worry, nobody can see you. I can't even see you, so do it. Close your eyes and imagine you see yourself on your couch with your laptop in hand, little babies crawling at your feet while you knock out some work for one of your clients. You feel so much happiness and excitement knowing that you're providing a second income stream for your family while spending your days watching your kiddos grow up. You get to take those dream family vacations and even pay off all of that debt. Finally. How would that feel? For me, that was everything I ever wanted. And I know it's absolutely possible for you. Introducing the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy. This is everything you need to build your virtual assistant business from scratch. So inside the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy, you get all of the trainings, the templates, everything you need to become a successful virtual assistant. We have weekly office hours where I'm in there answering your questions. You get the accountability to keep going even when you're struggling. I'll help you move past that roadblock. You get tech tutorials so you can learn all the programs you need. You get help with your pricing. We have a contract template that you literally just plug and play your info and you're done in 10 minutes. And seriously, so much more. Like I said, it is every single thing you need to be a successful virtual assistant. So inside the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy, you get lifetime access to the 10 module program with additional bonuses added over time. Okay, so you can do this totally self-paced on your own time. You could take a week to get through the content. You could take a month. It's whatever works best for you. And you get access to it forever. Like once you're in, you're in. You also get video lessons in each module that are bite-sized. That will help you gain clarity and give you actionable and tactical steps to help you become a successful virtual assistant. You also get a template to create your portfolio, your contract, pitches to jobs, and more. Like you literally just have to copy and paste, and this is going to take you 20 minutes or less for these things, okay? You don't have to start from scratch. It's literally there for you, and I walk you through how to change it for yourself. One of the best parts of this program is that you also get access to our private student community where you get that ongoing support from me, get all your questions answered, and you get to build community with other women who are right where you are and have very similar goals to you. You also get weekly office hours from me where you can submit your questions and I will be in there to help you and answer them as quickly as I can. My students will tell you they're astounded by how quickly I answer their questions a lot of times because I don't want you waiting, days to get your questions answered. I want to help you with it so you can move on and do the next step to replacing your income. So real quick, I just want to walk through what's included in the different units. Step one is your envisioning success. So we're going to talk through mindset strategies for your new business because as a new virtual assistant, you're going to come up against what we call imposter syndrome, that feeling of who am I to do this? Who's actually going to hire me to do this? I don't have any experience. I don't want you to let that hold you back. So I'm going to give you some mindset strategies to have in your back pocket to help you overcome those thoughts. Now, the next step or the next lesson in this unit is to establish your why in your vision board. So on those days where you feel like giving up, you can look at your why in your vision board to help you keep going and working towards those dreams of yours. I'm also going to teach you how to backwards design towards your goals. If you're a teacher, you probably know what this is, but basically when you're teaching, like you have a certain skill that you're trying to teach your kids, like to pass a test or whatever, you have to figure out what different lessons you have to teach them to get them from point A to point B. We're going to do the same thing with your goals. We're going to figure out what your income goal is and what steps you need to take to actually get there. Step number 2 is your business foundations. So we're going to get your business legal. I'm going to share with you the free tools that you need to get started because I don't want you spending a ton of money on different programs to manage your business. I'll share with you all the free resources. I also have a template for you to help you with tracking your income and your taxes. I've got a whole document with a virtual assistant term breakdown so that when you're applying to these jobs and you don't know what a term means, you can figure out what that means. And then I have a whole training on time blocking and workflows. That way, if you don't know like when you're going to be able to actually do this, you don't need a ton of time. Like really, you could do this in 5 hours a week. 10 hours a week would be phenomenal, but even 5, you can be a successful virtual assistant. So with the time blocking training, I'm going to teach you where to find that time throughout your week. And it can be like 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 30 minutes there, whatever works for you. I'm going to teach you how to find that time to work. And then when you actually sit down to work, I want you to know exactly what to do. I don't want you sitting there twiddling your thumbs like, okay, I'm supposed to be working, but I don't know what I'm supposed to be working on. I'm going to help you figure out exactly what you need to be doing every single time you work to actually lead to paying clients. Step number 3, I'm going to help you determine your services. I'm going to teach you how to teach yourself new skills. So if there's a skill you want to learn, you can absolutely figure it out. I'm going to help you with packaging your services, setting your rates, and we even have a whole pricing guide to help you with that even more, because I know a lot of people get kind of stuck on that. All right, step number 4 is figuring out who you would love to work with. So identifying your dream client and then figuring out where to find that dream client and how to attract them to you. So you don't have to always be going out looking for them. They'll start coming to you. Step number 5 is building your brand and your portfolio so you can stand out among the crowd. So I'm going to help you figure out what your brand colors are. I'm going to teach you the ins and outs of Canva, which we're then going to use to build your portfolio. I literally have that portfolio template for you, and I walk you through exactly how to change the colors in it, put in your content, drop in your photos, whatever. So it'll be done in 15-20 minutes. And then I also have a branded email signature that I teach you how to customize for yourself. That way, when you're applying to these jobs, you look even more professional and stand out among the crowd. Step number 6 is finding clients. So I'm going to share with you the top 8 places that you can find clients, the art of networking, why that's so important as a virtual assistant, how to pitch yourself effectively so people will actually want to have a call with you to potentially hire you. I'm going to teach you how to identify red flags in potential clients so you don't get stuck with a crappy client. Also going to teach you how to tell which jobs are scams, because like with anything, there are scammers out there. So I want to make sure you avoid those. And then I also have a training teaching you how to focus on money-making activities. I don't want you doing tasks in your business that are not going to actually lead to paying clients. For example, if you have 30 minutes to work and you spend that creating Instagram graphics, yeah, that could lead to potential clients. But if you spent that 30 minutes applying to jobs in Facebook groups that people are actively looking to hire for, that's more likely to land you a client faster. So I'm going to teach you how to do that in that training on focusing on those money-making activities. Step number 7 is how to land that potential clients. So I'm going to teach you how to rock the interview call, or what we in the virtual assistant world call the discovery call. This is just a quick 20-minute call. And it's a lot more laid back than an interview call. And this is as much your chance to interview your potential client and see if they'd be a good fit for what you want to work with. It's as much that as it is them interviewing you to see if they want to hire you. So you want to make sure they're actually a good fit. And if you have any red flags in that interview call, then you can gracefully say, this role is not for me. So I'm also going to teach you how to send proposals to your dream client after that discovery call, similar to the portfolio, but it's very specific to what your potential client said they needed on the discovery call. And then I'm going to teach you the art of following up, because that is so crucial. There are so many people who a lot of you are moms, you get it. We get so busy in our lives. Your clients are going to be the same way. So if you take the time to actually follow up with them, you're more likely to get hired than people who don't follow up. All right, step number 8 is what to do when you've actually landed that first client. So I'm going to teach you how to send out your contract. Literally have a template for you, and it's highlighted where you need to edit your personal information. So it'll take you 10 minutes to fill that out. I'm going to help you make sure you get paid. So I'm going to teach you how to send out your invoices and get those taken care of before you do any work. And then I'm going to teach you how to onboard your client, which is basically just getting all the information you need to do whatever service they hired you to do. So if you're a social media manager, you're going to need their social media logins, their brand colors, their brand voice, those types of things. I'm going to teach you how to get that stuff from them so that you're ready to hit the ground running when you start working with them. Step number 9 is one of the best units, I think, in this whole program. And it's literally a whole entire unit teaching you different virtual assistant service trainings. So remember back earlier in this workshop when I said I can teach you the different services that you want to offer? I've got you here. So in this unit, we have all kinds of different trainings teaching you those different services. We've got a training on social media management, TikTok management, which is social media management, but it's a training totally focused on being a TikTok manager. Organizational program management, Pinterest strategist, email marketing, podcast management, and more. This this unit in itself is like the gold mine. Hopefully you can't hear my son crying in the background. He's distracting me a little bit. I'm sure my husband has it handled. Right, step number 10 is what to do with your current clients. So how to turn your clients into raving fans, how to get new clients from old clients, and ending your relationship with a client, like if it's just not working out, how you can do that professionally so you don't burn any bridges. Real quick, I just want to share what a couple of the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy students have said about this program. So Andrea said, Ariana's program was better and more than I could have possibly imagined. VAMA, which she adds more to constantly, gave me all the tools to get started, learn what I needed to do, and what to do once I landed clients. This is not a sign up and you're on your own program. Ariana challenged me, supported me, and has literally helped land me the most amazing clients. She answers questions so quickly, and here we are almost a year later, and while I need less support, I still have access to her program. She still answers my questions I have and is still my go-to. So I'm not going to leave you to learn this on your own. Like, I'm there to answer your questions. I've got you. Amber said, Ariana's program has truly been a life-changing experience for me. With the flexibility to work through it on my own time, I gained all the knowledge and skills I needed to launch a thriving virtual assistant business. Ariana's unwavering support and willingness to answer my questions and brainstorm ideas with me have been invaluable on my journey. Thanks to Virtual Assistant Mama Academy, I was able to transform from a burnt-out teacher to successful VA in less than a year. I highly recommend this program to anyone who is even remotely considering becoming a virtual assistant. Trust me, you won't regret it. Now, here's just a couple quick screenshots from our actual student community, things that students have said. One of them said, I just left my teaching position to become a full-time virtual assistant. A lot of emotions, but mostly hope and excitement for the future. The next one said, I'm about to sign my biggest client to date, which will replace my teaching income. I have some thinking to do. Yeah, you do, girl. Next one, I want to celebrate with y'all. I put in my resignation at school this week. I'll be done in March. And at this point, I am booked out. Thank you, Ariana, for the mentorship and for always being in my corner. And above all, for showing me it's possible. Y'all, it is totally possible for you. You just have to have like a little bit of belief in yourself. And you would be amazed at what could happen if you just take that step of faith. Real quick, I have a couple bonuses I want to share with you. So if you say yes before the end of next week, you'll get access to bonus number 1, which is saving $100 off the program. This is valid for the first 10 people that join, like while this cart is open. So you'll get that. You'll also get bonus number 2, which is the Wow, What a Website template and video tutorial series to help you look even more professional for your dream clients. So in this program, Virtual Assistant Mama Academy, I have the portfolio for you, which is like a great starting point. But as you grow your business, you're going to eventually want a website. So this bonus right here will teach you exactly what you need to do to build an effective website. And especially if you want to offer website design as a service, you should have a website. Other than that, if you want to offer any other service, you can easily start with a portfolio. But if you want to be a website designer, you should probably have a website yourself. So this program will teach you exactly how to do that. And it'll bonus help teach you how to be a website designer. It'll help teach you the skills that you would need. And then bonus number 3 is the Land Your First Client Challenge. So with this challenge, you get the accountability that you need to land your first client, and make back your investment for this program ASAP. So you can see all of those bonuses and all of the details of the program at virtualassistantmama.com, which I'll be sharing the link in this training like once it's over. Now, this entire program, everything that's in it, all the time that's been put into it, it is worth over $6,500. Okay, it's literally everything you need. But right now, you can get it for one payment of $597, and if you're one of the first 10 to join during this round, you get that $100 off coupon. Okay. You can also do a payment plan of 3 monthly payments of $207. And then also if you get that $100 coupon, it would make your first payment 107. And then the two others would be 207. And then you can also do the 4 monthly payment plan of 157. And if you get that $100 coupon, if you're one of the first 10 to join this round, it would only be $57 to join right now. Okay. So you can literally change your life, like starting today for $57. Okay. It is so possible. So make sure you take advantage of those fast action bonuses and save that $100 when you're one of the first to register. I know it can seem overwhelming to invest in yourself. A lot of us haven't before. I know it was hard for me the first time I purchased anything for my business, but I want you to change your mindset from I'm just throwing money at this to I'm investing in myself and I'm gonna make this back. And then once we make that back, which you can probably do with your very first virtual assistant client, everything on top of that is profit. And there's no limit to how big you can grow your income with this. Okay, you're not capped with this. So I just want you to see the possibilities. All right. I know you might still have some questions, and so I want to address a couple most common questions I get. So the first one is, how long will it take me to be able to quit my 9 to 5 for good? I do have a podcast. I don't know if y'all know this, called the Virtual Assistant Mama Podcast. And in episode 147 on that podcast, I talked about the answer to this question. Okay. So there are literally over 250 podcast episodes that are completely free. You can find that on any podcast platform, Apple, Spotify, wherever, where you can start learning more about this world as well. All right. Now you might be wondering, okay, I really want to do this, but I don't know how I'm going to get my spouse on board. I have an episode 149 where I brought my husband on and we talked about what were your fears that held you back, what encouraged you to see I could do this, and even tips he shared about encouraging me when I felt stuck. So that's a really good episode to listen to if you're worried about that. And then one of the biggest questions I get is, what about insurance and benefits? I would be on here a really long time trying to go through that. So if you're curious about that, go listen to episode 152 of the Virtual Assistant Mama podcast. All right, y'all, it is time to say yes. It is time to ditch your 9 to 5 for good. So go to virtualassistantmama.com, check everything out, show it to your spouse. You'll also be getting an email after this workshop with a replay link, and then I'll upload this whole presentation in a PDF form or format. That way, if you want to show your spouse, they don't have to sit through and listen to my scratchy voice. They can just look through the slides with you, and you could just explain it to them there. So head to virtualassistantmama.com right now and grab your bonuses before they're gone. And just a reminder, this program includes 10 steps, completely self-paced, work through it on your own time. It includes bite-sized video lessons and workbooks. It's got your templates for your portfolio, contract, pitching to jobs, and more. It's got tons of bonuses. We've got weekly office hours to answer your questions, private student community, and the Land Your First Client Challenge to help you make back your investment ASAP. I know I mentioned the giveaway. I will be doing that giveaway actually tomorrow. That way, people who are watching the replay tonight still have a chance to get entered, but I'll be giving away 2 things that I'll share on the live I'm going to do tomorrow. You don't have to be live to win. I don't know for sure what time I'll be going live because it kind of depends on what time my kids nap. So I don't expect you to be there. And if you're a winner, then make sure to tag you. But I'll also be sharing a behind the scenes look into the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy as well. So if you want to see what it looks like when you actually join, I'll be sharing that tomorrow as well. So you can always catch the replay for that too. All right, y'all, I just want to take a moment to pray us out. If you're open to that, that's great. If you want to hop off before, that's fine. But my faith has been such a big part of my business and how I've gotten to the point I am today. And I know it's important to a lot of you as well. That's why a lot of you say that you connect with me and resonate with me. So I just want to go ahead and pray us out really quick. Father, thank you so much for bringing us together and just allowing me to pour into these amazing ladies. I just pray that you would help them to chase the dreams that you've placed on their heart because you didn't place those dreams there for no reason. Like, I just pray that you would encourage them to take that leap of faith, no matter how scary it is. And if they are ready, to help them say yes, to help them find the funds, to help them, or to just do it themselves and help them not hit any roadblocks. Father, I just pray that you would help all of their dreams come true. And I would be so honored if I could just support them in that process. Father, we love you so incredibly much. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, y'all. Thank you so much again for listening to my very scratchy voice. I'm very happy it lasted this whole time. Now I'm going to go take a drink. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram or on Facebook. Post your questions in the Facebook group, whatever you need. Again, I'll be sharing the link for the program right after I hop off here, and I'll be going through all the comments on this training and answering y'all's questions like right after this. All right. I love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope to see you really soon in the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy.